Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
The Print is at Janpath Hotel, where the Indira Gandhi National Center of Arts has been shifted from its existing premises as part of the Central Vista redevelopment project. The new premises at Janpath Hotel was inaugurated earlier this month by Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Culture Minister Prahlad Singh Patel, senior artist and Rajya Sabha MP Sonal Man Singh, among others. While inaugurating the temporary center of IGNCA, Puri said that when IGNCA moves to its final location at Jamnagar House, it will be a world-class facility and it will earn appreciation throughout the world. Around 3 lakh books, 30 lakh manuscripts preserved in microfilms, 1,08,000 pictures of various aspects of Indian culture in digital medium, 16,000 shooting tapes and other materials have been shifted to the temporary campus, which is a 5-story building. Let us have a look at this temporary location of IGNCA and see how is it different from the earlier premises. The Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, launched by former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in November 1985, has now shifted from Man Singh Road to Janpath Hotel as part of the Central Vista redevelopment project. The IGNCA is one of the several historical buildings in the area which are being torn down to make way for the first 3 buildings of the Central Secretariat project, expected to be completed by 2023. The IGNCA, which comes under the Ministry of Culture, has now been shifted to Janpath Hotel temporarily and is expected to shift completely to Jamnagar House. IGNCA is home to invaluable collections of artifacts, manuscripts, books, paintings, sculptures, and all that reflects the heritage of Indian culture. Sachidanand Joshi, the member secretary of IGNCA, spoke to The Print about what challenges were faced while shifting valuable artifacts to a completely new location and how they managed to make a hotel look like an art center.
We have more books, we have archival things, we have materials, we have artifacts, so many things to store. So that was a big challenge. And then the challenge of pandemic also came, corona pandemic also came. So we thought that the project is going to be delayed. But what we did is that we started doing planning at IGNCA, old campus. All our divisions started inventorizing their things, and they were asked to do 2 types of lists. One, what you need in short-term basis and what you need in long-term basis, so that things which are required on long-term basis can be packed in more neatly so that they can be stored. So once we reach to our final destination, that is Jamnagar House, those things can be kept intact and the short-term things can be packed later on. Another thing was that our conservation division, our archives division, they were asked to give training to all the divisions how to pack this material carefully so that nothing is damaged and nothing is sort of lost or misplaced.
Joshi said that they were aware of the hue and cry regarding Central Vista and knew that people were watching them closely. Therefore, they tried to finish the process smoothly. The old IGNCA buildings, spread across 25 acres, had beautiful buildings surrounded by greenery and lawns, where festivals, exhibitions, music concerts often took place in its spacious premises. The current location is a hotel and lacks enough outdoor space to conduct such programs. While the earlier premises was spread across 25 acres, the current temporary location has a space of 4.4 acres. However, the authorities at IGNCA say they are trying their best to utilize the spaces and convert it into an arts center so all these activities can take place smoothly.
You know, this is a Janpath hotel. This was an old hotel. People had its memories stored in their mind. There are people who have stayed here for a longer duration. Then we sort of geared up with our own team of visual designers and people who did the archiving, so that whatever things we are putting should be put in a more creative manner so that things are displayed.
The planning to shift the center began in October 2019 and the shifting was supposed to begin in March 2020 but got delayed because of the pandemic and finally was completed in June this year. The administration is planning to open the center for the general public from 1st August.
Our target is 1st of August.
Okay.
We are already working on our calendar of events. We are already working on the timings of public facilities to be opened, like library, like our archival material, like exhibitions. We are also planning a few exhibitions in due course of time. Cafeteria is also coming very nicely.
The old building of the IGNCA, however, is said to have its own pros and cons. The authorities told ThePrint that the old IGNCA building, which was situated on Man Singh Road, did not have state-of-the-art auditoriums and structures for maintaining the archives. It is also being hoped that the current center will attract more visitors because of its presence on the main road.
The previous building had a couple of major minus points in that. Like we did not have a good auditorium there, we did not have very well structured exhibition hall, we did not have this kind of rooms which can accommodate our archival material. That was there. We couldn't use the basements which were there. In fact, basements became liability rather than becoming assets to us. Those were the things. This building has its own problems. We do not have big halls like the previous ones, so that we can display things at. If you have a big hall, you can show it gracefully. But then there are creative ways of sort of modifying things. So people are in general, I feel they are happy. They have realized that this new building has some plus points, some advantages which we can use. Now we are at a better location, more visible. I know that we would have more visitors here because this has already been a very popular destination. And now it is on a main road, so people would come and would like to see this. So we have to make this more welcoming. We may not have lawn, but we have spaces which are beautifully landscapes. Plus we have good roofs. There we had many lawns, here we have many roofs. One roof which we have already created is known as, now we have named them as acre. That would be a small kind of an auditorium. It's not a structured auditorium, it's a space where you can have small functions like storytelling, like book reading, like small discussion, like small interviews, or a very, very intimate music concert. We can have that on that roof. So what we are doing is we are fully equipping it as a performance space.
The Rs 20,000 crore Central Vista project, which will completely overhaul the power corridor in Delhi, involves the construction of a new parliament, new residences for the Prime Minister and Vice President, and 10 new building blocks to accommodate government offices. 12 buildings, including the IGNCA, National Museum, and Vice President's House, are being razed to make way for the Modi government's ambitious redevelopment project. For ThePrint with Manisha Mondal, this is Unnati Sharma.